This was the first time he saw his clone. It looked exactly like him. The thought of his wife being accompanied by a clone in the future made him feel incredibly distressed. He touched the clone's hand. It felt like his left hand touching his right. This terrified him. After a moment to compose himself, he still decided to terminate the cloning project. Just a few months ago, Cameron discovered a malignant tumor growing in his brain. The cancer cells had already spread and were incurable. The tumor caused frequent seizures, each one potentially fatal. Despite the gravity of his condition, Cameron kept it a secret. After signing a contract with the cloning facility, they created a healthy clone of Cameron. The plan was for the clone to replace him after his death, to care for his family. It was a brilliant plan, but one crucial obstacle remained: human emotion. Returning home, Cameron intended to confess to his wife that he was dying. It seemed simple enough, yet the words refused to form. Cameron knew his wife well. She clung fiercely to emotion. A year prior, her younger brother had died in a car crash. She wept with such anguish then that depression followed, confining her to her room for a full year. She cut off contact with family, stopped working. Her prolonged breakdown wasn't just her pain, it brought constant worry to her loving husband and child. Now she was pregnant with Cameron's second child. If he told her the truth, Cameron dared not imagine the consequences. In the end, he couldn't bring himself to speak. He contacted the cloning company again, hoping to meet other clones. The doctor introduced him to one, a saleswoman unaware she was a clone. She treated Cameron with great warmth, and because she needed to care for her child, she brought her daughter to work. Their shared glances brimmed with understanding and tenderness. Cameron observed her for a very long time, finding not a single flaw, so he decided to continue with the cloning plan. He told his wife he was going on a week-long business trip and secretly returned to the cloning facility. There he met the saleswoman herself. Her complexion was poor, and she was waiting for death to come. When Cameron mentioned her clone was doing well, her tone held little relief, but rather a subtle hint of envy. Next, Cameron prepared to activate the clone. The first step was memory transfer. A simple device was attached to both temples, and they slept for 6 hours. In his dream, Cameron relived his first encounter with his wife. They knew and loved each other. He found her so perfect, so perfectly aligned with his soul. Yet he also gradually discovered her fragility and felt the inevitable disappointment these weaknesses brought, the hurt of distance. Cameron loathed these emotions, so he jolted awake from the memory, stunned for a long time. Perfect love doesn't exist in this world. Even the deepest love will disappoint you at times. True maturity comes when you make the right choice between love and fear. Not long after, Cameron decided to awaken his clone. The clone stirred as if from a long slumber. After prolonged conflict and digestion, he finally understood he was not himself. When the two met, both were intensely nervous. When one encounters another identical to themselves, the first impulse is often to kill. Yet their first encounter felt more like meeting a long-lost brother, a disorienting blend of familiarity and strangeness. Over the next few days together, Cameron discovered that whether it was inner memories or outward habits, the clone was his exact replica. Even the subconscious thoughts he preferred not to mention, the clone knew. Not a single thing felt off. Next, it was time to have the clone try a video call with Cameron's wife. This time Cameron would be present to observe. The two began talking. The clone felt a bit awkward at first, but quickly found his rhythm.